Hey guys, welcome back to the next part of the pixel art tutorial for Thanos. If you consider becoming a channel member today, you'll instantly get access to the brand new pixel art tutorial parts for Thanos a lot earlier. And I also have a Discord. Consider joining my Discord, because if you are also a channel member, you will get the channel member role within my Discord. And I also want to mention that I have an official TikTok account now. There's been a lot of people over the years that have taken my videos and uploaded them to TikTok just to get a cheap follow, and some have even impersonated me, so I decided to make an official TikTok. So my TikTok name, the link to my Discord, channel membership, all down below in the description. So let's start off down here. We're gonna start down here, and then we'll work our way back up there. And I want to start at that empty space right there. So starting it off, we're going to switch over to the red terracotta, starting from the left part of this empty spot right here. So starting from there, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So that's 1 and 2. Once you've done that, you're going to switch over to the yellow concrete. Starting from there, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So that's 1 and 2. Switch over to the red terracotta. Underneath this yellow concrete, we're going to be adding 1 orange terracotta. That's 1, even though I feel like I said red by accident. And now that we placed that 1 orange terracotta, we're going to be switching over to the yellow terracotta and adding a terracotta here in this empty spot. So that's 1. So it should look like that. Alright, so next we're going to be switching over to our sand. I didn't even organize this by shading, as you can see. I'm just picking up after right after we ended with the last part. So switching over to the sand block now, starting from this black concrete on the left side of it. So from here with the sand block, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So it's 1, 2, 3. Next, you're going to be placing 2 blocks going up on the right. That's 1 and 2. And then place 1 block going up to the right. That's 1. Once you've done that, you're going to switch over to the yellow sand and add 1 yellow sand on top of this sand. So that's 1 yellow sand. Then we're going to move over here, back over here to the left, and we're going to be filling in these empty spaces right here. These 4 empty spaces in between the sand block and the black concrete. Fill it in with yellow sand. So it should look like that. And once you've done that, we might as well fill in these areas. But for this part, we're going to have to switch over to the yellow concrete. Starting down here at this empty space, only the first 2 down here get filled in with the yellow concrete. So that and that with yellow concrete. Then you're going to switch over to the sand block and fill in this single spot here with sand. Actually, no, what am I... Don't fill that in with sand. Fill that in with yellow sand. Yellow sand. The confusion has already started. So fill this in with yellow sand. There we go. And also this empty space right here. We're going to go ahead and fill this in with the yellow... Where is it? The yellow concrete. Or terracotta. Jesus. I can't speak, guys. I'm sorry. No, what am I doing? Get rid of the sand block. Yellow terracotta. There we go. Yellow concrete, yellow concrete, yellow terracotta, yellow terracotta. If you remember how I said in the last part, my favorite words are terracotta and concrete now. Alright, so let's switch over to the terracotta. Starting on top of these 2 black concrete. So from there, we're going to be adding 4 blocks going up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And once you've done that, switch over to the sand block. We're going to start on top of this black concrete. So from here, we're going to be placing it 4 blocks going up with sand. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going up on the left. So that's 1, 2, 3. And once you've done that, you're going to switch over to the yellow terracotta. So switching over to the yellow terracotta now. Starting on top of the sand, we're going to be adding from here, just, let me see, I'm losing track. We're going to be adding 6 blocks going up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And once you've done that, you're going to be placing 2 sets of 3s going up on the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 2. Once we've done that, we're going to quickly switch over to the orange terracotta. Starting from the bottom block of these 3, on the right side, we're going to be adding 1 orange terracotta. So that's 1. And once you've done that, we're also going to be going back down here and filling in these 2 empty spaces here with the orange terracotta. So let's just fill this in with orange terracotta. Let's fill that right up. So it should look like that. Next, we're going to go ahead and switch over to the yellow concrete on top of this orange terracotta. We're going to be adding 3 yellow concretes going up. So it's 1, 2, 3. Next, you're going to switch over to the sand block and add 1 sand block on top of this concrete. So that's 1 sand. Then switch over to the yellow sand. Move over here to the right on top of this black concrete. We're going to be adding 2 yellow sands going up. So that's 1 and 2. Now that we've done that, we're going to be switching over to the orange terracotta and remaining in this empty space, but going all the way up here to the very top of this empty space underneath this black concrete. We're going to be adding 2 orange terracottas going down. So that's 1 and 2. Next, you're going to switch over to the yellow terracotta, move over here to the right, and underneath this black concrete, we're going to be adding 5 yellow terracottas going down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you've done that, switch over to the sand block, and with the sand block, we're going to be filling in the remaining empty space that's right here with the sand. So fill this in with sand. I'll fly back a bit so you can see that everything should look exactly like this so far. Okay, so now what we're going to be doing next is we're going to move over here to the left. We're going to start on this area that's holding the first stone, the first infinity stone. And let's start all the way at the very bottom. We're going to work our way from the outer circle going into the inner. So starting from the very bottom here to the left, we'll switch over to the red terracotta and just place 1 red terracotta there. So that's 1. Once you've done that, you're going to be placing 1 block going up to the left from it. So that's 1, again with the terracotta. Then we're going to switch over to the orange terracotta and fill this empty space here with orange. That's orange. Once you've done that, you're going to be placing 1 orange going up to the left. That's 1. So I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this. Now, what you're going to be doing next is switching over to the brown concrete. And with the brown concrete, I want you to follow this empty space here. This empty space of just single empty spaces going up to the left. And I want you to go to the first empty space that we have 2 empty spaces here together, just going up. You can see it, 1, 2, next to these 2 black concretes. So we're going to start from this empty space here, and we're going to be filling this in with the brown concrete. So fill that in with brown concrete, so it looks like that. And once you've done that, we're going to move down here to the right a bit, and this spot right here, this single space gets filled in with just brown concrete, so just fill that in. So it looks like that. And once you've done that, you're going to switch over to the red terracotta, and with the red terracotta, we're going to be filling in these single remaining spaces down here between this 1 brown and going down here in between that orange terracotta. So let's fill these empty spaces with the red terracotta. So it looks like that. Now let's head back up here. We're going to switch back over to the brown concrete. Starting from this empty space on top of this black concrete, we're just going to be adding 2 brown concretes going up. So that's 1 and 2. Once you've done that, you're going to switch over to the red terracotta, fill this single spot with red terracotta. There you go. Now let's move up here to this next empty spot. On top of this black concrete, we're going to be adding only 2 red terracottas going up. So that's 1 and 2. Switch over to the orange terracotta, fill this spot here with orange terracotta. And once you've done that, we're going to be placing 1 orange terracotta going up to the left. So that's 1. Now that we've done that, we're going to be switching over to the sand block for just a sec, and on top of this orange, we're going to be adding 2 sand blocks going up, so that's 1 and 2. Next, let's switch over to the yellow sand, add 1 yellow sand on top of the sand, so that's 1. Then switch over to the yellow concrete, and fill this empty spot here with yellow concrete, so that's 1. And then place 1 yellow concrete going up to the right, that's 1. Once you've done that, switch over to the yellow terracotta and fill this empty spot right here with yellow terracotta. Once you fill that in, we're going to move over here to the right. And on top of this black concrete, we're just going to be placing 1 yellow terracotta, so that's 1. Then switch over to the yellow concrete, add 1 yellow concrete on top, so that's 1. Then we're going to switch over to the yellow sand and fill this empty space here with the yellow sand. There we go. Now let's switch over to the sand block, and with the sand block, these next 3 blocks that go up to the right get filled in with sand. So these 3 right here, that's 1, 2, and 3, should look like this. Okay. I'll fly back a bit so you can see the entire thing. Very simple and easy. Alright, let's switch over to the sand block now. We're going to continuing the outline, going around the circle. Fill this one single spot here with the yellow sand. Next, we're going to switch over to the yellow concrete, and from here, we're only going to be adding 1 yellow concrete on top of this black concrete. So that's 1. Next, you're going to switch over to the yellow terracotta, fill the remaining spot right here with yellow terracotta. And then you're going to switch over to the orange terracotta and place 1 orange terracotta going down to the right. That's 1. Then you're going to switch over to the red terracotta, fill this single spot right here with the red. So that's 1. And then from here, we're going to be placing 1 red terracotta going down to the right. That's 1. Once you've done that, you're going to switch over to the brown concrete. And with the brown concrete, this is going to be the easiest part. We're going to be filling the remaining empty spaces here, following this path, following this outline that we've been doing here. You see this? This is just one outline that we've been placing blocks. So the remaining of empty spaces of this outline get filled in with the brown concrete. So let's just fill this in. Very simple and easy. There we go. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Now I have to go ahead and switch over to the black concrete. Give me a second, guys. I did an oopsie. There we go. Alright, so I'll fly back a bit. So you can see everything should look exactly like this. Go ahead and pause the video now if you need to, just to compare. Okay, so what we're going to be doing next, let's see. Yeah, I was going to start on the inner circle, but let's go ahead and start on the outer, this in-between section here. So we're going to start all the way down here. And to do this, we're actually going to have the brown terracotta in our inventory, so go ahead and put that in our inventory now. Alright, so we're not even organized here. Hold on a second. Not that I need to, because I know where the blocks are going to be, but you know, for shading purposes. There we go. Alright, so we're going to start off with the sand block. Down here, we're just going to be placing, on top of these 2 going across, we're going to be placing 2 sand blocks going across on top of these black concrete. So that's 1 and 2. Once you've done that, you're going to be placing 1 sand block on top of the right block. So that's 1. And now from here, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going up on the right. That's 1 and 2. Next, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to be placing 1 block going up to the right. That's 1. Now let's head back down here, and we're going to be starting back over here to the left, starting on top of the left block, or I should say starting from the left block of these 2 that we had here. So from there, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going across on the upper level to the left. So that's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. Now once you've done that, you're going to be switching over to the brown terracotta, starting from the right side of these 2 sand blocks that we placed. So from there, we're going to be adding 2 brown terracottas going to the right. So that's 1, 2. Then you're going to be placing 1 block going down to the right. That's 1. And now place 2 blocks going up to the right. That's 1, 2. And then you're going to be placing 3 blocks going up to the right. That's 1, 2, 3. Once you've done that, you're going to quickly switch over to the brown concrete. Let's head back down here. On top of this brown terracotta, this one right here, we're going to be adding 1 brown concrete on top of it. So that's 1. And once you've done that, let's head back up here. We're going to switch over to the red terracotta. On top of these brown terracotta, we're going to be adding 1 red terracotta. So that's 1. And then place 2 red terracottas going up on the right. That's 1 and 2. Once you've done that, you're going to switch over to the yellow sand and fill this single spot right here with the yellow sand. There we go. And then you're going to be placing another yellow sand on top of this regular sand. So that's 1. Next, we're going to be switching over to the yellow concrete. Add 1 yellow concrete on top of this yellow sand. So that's 1. And then you're going to switch over to the yellow terracotta. Add 1 yellow terracotta on top of this concrete. So that's 1 yellow terracotta. Then switch over to the orange terracotta, and we're going to be adding 2 orange terracottas going up. That's 1, 2. Then switch over to the red terracotta, add 2 red terracottas going up. That's 1, 2. And then we're just going to go ahead and fill this empty spot right here with the brown terracotta. Or I should say brown concrete. Brown concrete. There we go. That's 1 brown concrete. So it should look like that. Alright, so now that we've done that, what we're going to be doing next is actually moving back down here. Let's go back down here where we left off with the sand. We're going to switch over to the red terracotta. We're going to start on top of the left block of these 2 sands. So we're going to start from there on top of it. And from here, we're going to be adding 2 red terracottas going to the left. That's 1, 2. Then we're going to be placing 4 blocks going diagonal up to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And once we've done that, what we're going to be doing next is we're going to head up here to the left a bit. And I want you to go to these 5 black concretes, these 5 right here. We're going to start from the bottom block on the right side of it with the red terracotta. So starting from there with the red terracotta, we're going to be adding 4 blocks going up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should look like this. Next, we're going to be placing 1 block going up to the right. That's 1. And then we're going to be placing 2 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2. Once you've done that, you're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So that's 1 and 2. And now from here, we're going to be placing 4 blocks going across on the upper level to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to go ahead and fill in these 2 next empty spaces here that follow the path. This space and this space with the red terracotta. Let's fill this and this with red terracotta. And then once you've done that, you're going to switch over to the brown concrete. And we're going to be filling in these 4 remaining empty spaces that are going down here to the right. Fill those 4 empty spaces with the brown concrete. I'm going to do that now. Now fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this so far. So next, with the brown concrete still in our hand, we're going to move up here to the left. Let's go back to where we had these 2 red terracottas going diagonal. You see that we have these 3 empty spaces in between the red terracotta and the black concrete. We're going to be filling in just these 3 empty spaces with the brown concrete. So it should look like that. And now we're going to move over here to the left and fill this empty spot right here with the brown concrete. So fill that in. And now on top of this red terracotta, we're going to be adding 2 brown concretes going up. So that's 1, 2. Oops. There we go. So now we're going to be switching over to the brown terracotta. And starting on top of this concrete, the brown concrete, with the brown terracotta, we're just going to be placing 1 block on top. So that's 1. And then you're going to be placing 2 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2. Once you've done that, you're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So that's 1. Oops, that's 1. And 2. Again, this is with the brown terracotta, so it should look like this. And once you've done that, you're going to switch blocks. You're going to swap out the brown terracotta for the gray terracotta. And with the gray terracotta, we're going to be filling in these 2 empty spaces up here with the gray terracotta. So fill this and these, or this, I should say, with the brown, or the gray terracotta, Jesus. So it should look like this. So now the last part for this section, actually before I forget, that's not the last part. Let's swap out the gray terracotta back for the brown terracotta. I forgot this little area over here. We're going to move to these 2 red terracottas. On top of them, we're just going to be adding 2 brown terracottas going across, so that's 1 and 2. So it should look like that. Now you're going to be switching over to the brown concrete. And with the brown concrete, we're going to be filling in these 2 empty spaces here with the brown concrete. Let's fill this and this with the brown concrete. So I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this so far. Now we're going to be switching over to the orange terracotta. Now with the orange terracotta, we have 1 single empty space left to fill. And it's this empty space that goes around the stones. So this empty space here, staying within the outline, of course, you're going to be filling that in with the orange terracotta. So let's fill this in. Fill that up. There we go. Now I'll fly back a bit, so you can see that it should look exactly like this. Now we only have the one ring left, and like I mentioned in the last tutorial part, we're not going to be doing the gems. That's why we have that that time stone over there empty, and this is all the circles, basically all the gems or all the stones are going to be left for a later part. But first, we're going to just focus on coloring the gauntlet. We'll focus on the stones a little bit later. Yeah, so let's start down here. Switch over to the sand block. Starting on top of the left block of these three, so from there, we're going to be adding from here just 2 sand blocks going to the right. So that's 1, 2. Once you've done that, switch over to the yellow sand, add 1 yellow sand to the right. So that's 1. Switch over to the yellow concrete, add 1 yellow concrete to this next empty space, so that's 1 yellow concrete. Then we're going to be switching over to the yellow terracotta, add 1 yellow terracotta going up to the right, that's 1. And then switch over to the orange terracotta, add 1 orange terracotta on top of this, so that's a 1 orange terracotta. And then place 1 orange terracotta going up to the right, that's 1. And now switch over to the red terracotta on top of the orange. We're going to be adding 2 red terracottas going up, that's 1, 2. And once we've done that, we're going to be switching over to the brown concrete, fill in this empty space along with this other empty space, these 2 empty spaces here with the brown concrete. So fill those in. So it should look like this. Next, we're going to move up here to this next empty space, and on top of this black concrete, we're going to be adding 1 brown concrete. So that's 1. On top of this black. Alright, so now that we have our now that we have our 1 brown concrete, switch over to the red terracotta. From here, we're going to be placing 1 red terracotta, so that's 1. And then this next empty space up here also gets filled in with the red terracotta, so that's 1. Then you're going to go ahead and switch over to the orange terracotta. This next empty spot right here on top of this 1 block, we're only going to be placing a 1 orange terracotta, so that's 1. Switch over to the yellow terracotta and fill in this empty space here with the yellow terracotta. There we go, that's 1. And then let's switch over to the yellow concrete, moving to the next area on top of this block. We're only going to be adding just 1 yellow concrete, so that's 1. Switch over to the yellow sand, add 1 yellow sand to the left, that's 1. And now we're going to switch over to the sand block. Now with the sand block, we're going to be filling just these 3 empty spaces right here. 1, 2, and 3. Fill this in with the sand. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So it should look like that. Now for this next part, we're actually going to have to move back down here because the sand isn't going to be able to support itself. So let's go back down here. The yellow sand, that is. And we're going to start with the yellow sand. And on top of the right block of these 2 black concretes, we're going to be adding 1 yellow sand. So that's 1. Switch over to the yellow concrete. Add 1 yellow concrete here, this empty spot, so that's 1. Switch over to the yellow terracotta. Place 1 yellow terracotta going up to the right, or to the left. That's 1. Not that it matters. You already know it's going to get filled in there. And now switch over to the orange next spot up here. We're only going to be placing 1 orange on top of this block, so that's 1 orange terracotta. Switch over to the red and fill in this 1 spot here with the red. That's 1. Next, we're going to switch over to the brown concrete. This next empty space right here gets filled in with brown. Just brown. So it should look like that. And now, for this next area, we're going to only place 1 brown concrete on top of this block. So that's 1 brown concrete. Then you're going to switch over to the red terracotta, add 1 red terracotta. So that's 1. Switch over to the orange terracotta, add 1 orange terracotta. That's 1. Switch over to the yellow terracotta, add 1 yellow terracotta. That's 1. Switch over to the yellow concrete, add 1 yellow concrete, that's 1. And then you're going to switch over to the yellow sand and add 1 yellow sand, that's 1. I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this. And this is one of the reasons why I do recommend you guys to line up the blocks like I have from lightest to dark. And if you don't know what block pattern it is, all you have to do is just pause the video and look at the bottom of the screen. So whenever we do shading like this, you're not going to have to go like this, going back and forth, which one is this, which one is that, because we're going to generally go from dark to light or light to dark. So that way, for example, if we start from brown to red to orange to yellow to lighter yellow to lighter yellow, you can see where this is a lot easier for us, so we're not scrambling around. Alright, so we're going to, in fact, you know what, I was going to move over here, but let's go ahead and take care of down here first, so that way we can end it with doing the other gems here. Or I keep calling them gems. The stones. Alright, let's start down here at this empty spot. So from here, we're going to just switch over to, or I should say, start off with the brown terracotta, starting from within this smaller empty space of this other empty space, starting on the left side of this black concrete. So from there, we're just going to be placing 3 brown terracottas going diagonal up to the left. That's 1, 2, and 3. Once you've done that, you're going to switch over to the brown concrete, and we're just going to be filling in this empty space here, this small spot, with brown concrete. So it should look like that. Now that we've done that, what we're going to be doing next is we're going to head over here to the right. Let's start over here on the left side of this black concrete. We're going to start off with the red terracotta. Now on the left side, so from here, we're going to be placing just 1 red terracotta. That's 1. And then you're going to be placing 3 sets of 2s going up on the left. So that's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Once you've done that, switch over to the orange terracotta, and with the orange, we're going to be placing 4 blocks going diagonal up to the left. So 4 diagonal up to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, once you've done that, we're going to move to this 1 black concrete, and underneath it, from there, we're going to be adding 4 orange terracottas going down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, you're going to be placing 2 blocks going down on the left. That's 1, 2. And then we're going to be switching back over to the red terracotta, starting underneath these 2 blocks right here. All we're going to be doing is tracing the outline going down to the left. So just trace the remaining outline with the red terracotta like this, going down to the left. And I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this. Very simple and easy. Now, we're going to switch over to the, or I should say stay with the red terracotta. Let's head back down here. Going to this 1 black concrete on the right side of it, we're just going to be adding 1 red terracotta. So that's 1. And then you're going to switch over to the orange terracotta, and from here we're going to be placing 3 orange terracottas going diagonal up to the left. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So now that we have our 3 oranges, we're going to switch over to the brown terracotta on top of this orange right there. With brown terracotta, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going diagonal up down to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3. So it should look like this. And now we're going to head back up here. Let's go back to this orange terracotta, starting underneath it right here. With the brown terracotta, we're going to be placing, or not even placing, we're going to be tracing the outline of the orange and the red, going all the way down until we make contact with the ground. So starting from here, just trace the outline with the brown terracotta until we go all the way down, make contact with the ground. There we go. So I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this. Go ahead and pause the video now if you need to, just to compare. Now, we're going to go ahead and switch over to the brown concrete, and with the brown concrete, the remaining empty spaces here get filled in with the brown concrete. So let's fill this in with the brown concrete. There we go. Very easy, very simple. Nice to understand. There we go. Again, I'll fly back again, so you can see that everything should look like this. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and let's start with the smaller ones, because that's what we did over there with the left. So we're gonna move to this next section right here, and we're gonna start from the inside and work our way out. So starting down here at the very, very center, we're gonna switch over to the yellow sand, and this empty spot right here, this single spot right here gets filled in with yellow sand. Fill that in, there we go. Now we're gonna start over here to the left, and from here we're gonna switch over to the yellow concrete. On the left side of this block, we're going to be placing 1 yellow concrete, so that's 1. Switch over to the sand block and place 1 sand block on top of this black concrete, so that's 1 sand block. That's 1 yellow sand block, I should say. And then switch over to the yellow terracotta and fill in these 2 empty spaces here with the yellow terracotta. So it should look like that. And while we're here, let's move over here to the left. On the left side of this black concrete, so starting from there, we're going to be placing 3 yellow terracottas going diagonal up to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3. Next, you're going to go ahead and place 2 blocks going across on the upper level to the right. That's 1, 2. Now, once you've done that, you're going to switch over to the yellow sand, and moving to this other empty space here, on the right side of these two, we're going to be adding 1 yellow sand, so that's 1. And then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side of this same empty spot. Over here to the right, we're going to be adding 1 yellow sand, so that's 1. Then switch over to the sand block and fill in this empty space here with the sand. The regular sand, that is, of course. Once we've done that, we're going to move over here to this next empty spot. Let's switch back over to the yellow sand. On top of this black concrete, we're going to be adding 1 yellow sand, so that's 1. Then switch over to the yellow concrete and fill in these 2 empty spaces here with the yellow concrete. So fill that and that. So it should look like this. Now let's switch over to the yellow terracotta, and we're going to be doing the exact same thing we did over here to the left, but this time we're going to do it over here to the right, starting on top of the, or not on top, on the right side of this black concrete. So from here, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going diagonal up to the left. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. That's 1, 2. So I'll fly back, and you can see that it should look exactly like this. Of course, you can pause the video now if you need to, just to compare. Alright, so what we're going to be doing next now is switch over to, let's see, we'll start over here. Well, I think it'll be easier for us if we start over here to the left. Where am I going? There we go. Switching over to the red terracotta, starting from this black on the right side, so from there, we're going to be adding 2 blocks going to the right. So that's 1 and 2. Now, once you've done that, starting on top of this red terracotta, we're going to be from right here, we're going to be placing 4 blocks going diagonal up to the right. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next, switch over to the orange, place 1 orange going up to the right. That's 1. Then switch over to the yellow terracotta, add 1 yellow to the right. That's 1, with the terracotta, of course. And then once you've done that, you're going to be placing 1, wait, no. You're going to switch over, there we go, to the brown concrete. On the right side of this yellow terracotta, with the brown concrete, we're going to be placing 4 blocks going to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's switch over to the yellow concrete. On top of the left block of these 4, right there, we're going to be placing 1 yellow concrete. So that's 1. Then switch over to the yellow sand. On the right side of this block, we're going to be adding 2 yellow sands going to the right. So that's 1 and 2. Once you've done that, you're going to switch over to the red terracotta. We're going to move back to these 4 brown concretes on the right side of this concrete. So from here, we're going to be adding 2 blocks going diagonal down to the right. So that's 1 and 2. Once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and switch over to the orange terracotta, starting on top of this red terracotta. So starting from right here, right there, we're going to be adding 5 blocks going to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, you're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going across on the lower level to the right. So 2 sets of 2s. So that's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. And once we've done that, what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be switching over to the yellow sand. On top of the left block of these 2 orange, so right there, we're going to be adding 1 yellow sand, so that's 1. And then place 1 yellow sand going up to the left. That's 1. Next, you're going to be switching over to the sand block, fill in this spot right here, this empty space with sand. And then move up here to the left and fill in this empty space up here with sand. So fill this in with sand. I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this so far. Now, let's head back down here. We're going to start from this black concrete, and we're going to switch over to the yellow terracotta on the left side of this block. So from there, we're going to be placing 2 yellow terracottas going diagonal up to the left. So 2 diagonal, that's 1 and 2. And then switch over to the yellow concrete, and from here we're going to be placing 3 yellow concretes going diagonal up to the left. That's 1, 2, and 3. Again, I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this. So what we're going to be doing next is switching over to the brown concrete, and with the brown concrete, we're going to move over here to the left. We're going to be filling in this single spot right here, just this one spot, with the yellow, or not the yellow, with the brown concrete. So let's fill this in with brown concrete. There we go. And then once you fill that in with the brown, we're gonna switch over to the terracotta, the orange terracotta, that is. And with the orange terracotta, we're gonna be filling in these two empty spaces here. That one spot here, and then this other spot here with the orange terracotta. So let's fill this in with the orange. There we go. I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this. Very simple and easy. Alright, so now what we're going to be doing next is filling in this next part. And let's see, I think it'll be easier for us if we start on the right side. So let's start over here on the right. We're going to switch over to the... Let's see, we're going to switch over to... Yeah, we'll start down here. To the red terracotta. Starting from the right side of this black concrete right here. With the red terracotta, we're going to be placing 6 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next, you're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going across on the upper level to the left. That's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. That's 2 sets of 2s. And now that you've done that, you're going to be placing 5 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to be placing 3 blocks going diagonal up to the left. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Once you've done that, you're going to switch over to a placement block and put a placement block on the left side of this red terracotta. So that's 1 placement. Then switch over to the red terracotta, starting on top of this placement block. So from here, we're going to be adding 5 red terracottas going to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get rid of that placement block. Next, we're going to go ahead and switch over to the brown concrete, starting on the right side of these 5 red terracottas. So from here, we're going to be adding 3 brown concretes going to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3. Next, you're going to be placing 1 block going down to the right. That's 1. And now let's switch back over to the red terracotta, starting on the right side of this brown concrete. We're going to be adding 2 red, starting from here, I should say, we're going to be adding 2 sets of 2s going across on the lower level to the right. So that's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. And once you've done that, you're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal down to the right with the brown, or with the red terracotta, of course. That's 1 and 2. I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this. So what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be heading back down here, and we're going to go back to this 1 black concrete. This time we're going to start on the left side of it. So we're going to switch over to the, or actually, yeah, we're going to stay with the red terracotta. Starting on the left side, so from there, we're going to be placing just 1 red terracotta. So that's 1. And then you're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going up on the left. That's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. Next, you're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal up to the left. That's 1 and 2. Once you've done that, you're going to be switching over to the yellow terracotta. And from here, we're going to be placing 4 blocks going diagonal up to the left. So 4 diagonal up to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And once you've done that, we're going to move over here and just fill in this empty spot right here with the yellow terracotta. Fill that in. Once you've done that, we're going to move up to this next empty space, and we're going to switch blocks. We're going to switch over to the yellow concrete. Starting on top of the right block of these 2 red terracottas, we're going to be placing 1 yellow concrete. So that's 1. Then you're going to be switching over to the yellow sand. Place 1 yellow sand to the left. That's 1. Then switch over to the regular sand and add 1 sand block on top of this brown concrete. So that's 1 sand. Once you've done that, you're going to switch back over to the yellow sand. We're going to move to this empty spot here, and to the far left, on the right side of these 2 black concretes, we're going to be adding 1 yellow sand. So that's 1. Switch back over to the regular sand and fill in this empty space right here with the regular sand. Fill that in. Fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like that. Very simple and easy. Now we're going to be switching over to the orange terracotta, and with the orange terracotta, we're going to be filling in this remaining spot, just this 1 spot right here, staying within the outline. Just fill in this empty space right here with the orange terracotta. Let's fill this in. Very simple and easy. There we go. So I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this. Alright, so what we're going to be doing next is outlining this next part. Now, to get to this next part, we're going to be switching over to the where are you there? The yellow concrete. And on the left side of these 5 red terracottas, we're going to be adding 1 yellow concrete. So that's 1. Next, switch over to the yellow terracotta, add 1 yellow terracotta to the left. That's 1. Then switch over to the orange terracotta, add 1 orange going down to the left. That's 1. And then switch back over to the red terracotta, add 1 red terracotta on the left side of this orange. So that's 1 terracotta, that's 1 red. And then you're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. That's 1, 2. And now place 1 red terracotta going down to the left. That's 1. Now this next part is going to be pretty easy. Let's switch over to the brown concrete. And with the brown concrete, we're going to be tracing the remaining black concrete outline with the brown concrete. So starting from here, just trace the outline going down to the left. It's very simple, very easy, like so. So it should look like that with the brown concrete. Now for this next part, we're actually going to be switching blocks. We're going to swap out our brown terracotta for the gray terracotta. Now with the gray terracotta, we're going to move back up here. And I want you to go back to this 1 red terracotta on the right side of it. So from here, with the gray terracotta, all we're going to be doing is tracing the outline going all the way down to the left. So let's trace the outline like this. And of course, we started on the right side of the red terracotta. There we go. Very simple, very easy. So it should look like that. Now, for this next part, we're going to be swapping out the gray terracotta back for our brown terracotta. So switching over to the brown terracotta now, let's go all the way back up here. Let's go back to this 1 yellow concrete, starting underneath it. So from there, we're going to be adding 2 yellow concretes going to the left. So that's 1, 2. So it should look like that. Okay, next you're going to be placing another 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. That's 1, 2. And now for this next one, you're going to be placing a linked 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. A linked, so it starts from here. That's 1 and 2. The linked blocks are always connected, so they look like this. And now for this next part, it's pretty easy. All you're going to do is trace the remaining outline going all the way down to the left. So starting from there, just trace the outline going down to the left with the brown terracotta. There we go. I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this so far. Go ahead and pause the video now if you need to, just to compare. Now we're going to be outlining just one more part with, or one little section with the brown terracotta before we fill this area in. And to do that, first we're going to have to start from these 10 black concretes on the left side of it. So from there, we're going to be adding 2 brown terracottas going to the left. That's 1, 2. And then you're going to be placing 6 blocks going diagonal down to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once you've done that, switch over to the brown concrete. And with the brown concrete, we're finally going to be filling in the remaining empty space that's right here with the brown concrete. So let's go ahead and fill this in. There we go. Nice and easy. We definitely got a lot done and filled in on this part. There we go. And then once again, I'll fly back a bit so you can see that everything should look exactly like this so far. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here and continue my pixel art tutorial series of Thanos in the next part. And of course, consider becoming a channel member. If you become a channel member, you will instantly get access to the brand new pixel art tutorial parts for Thanos, and also the other brand new pixel art tutorials that I have coming out for other brand new pixel arts. Don't forget to also join my Discord. The link to my Discord will be down below in the description. And if you are a channel member, you will instantly get access to the channel member role within my Discord once you link up your Discord account with your YouTube account. And don't forget to follow me on TikTok. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there's been a lot of people that have been taking my videos and then uploading them to their TikTok account just to get a cheap follow or just to try to impersonate me. So I've decided to make an official TikTok account, and I will be uploading my pixel art time-lapse videos. Not just there, obviously, these videos are also going to be here on YouTube, but I definitely want to have a stronger presence on the internet. So my TikTok name will be down below in the description.